focus. Let's go, KD. Take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Nigga, find your way. Yeah, take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Nigga, find your way.
Yeah, I talk is talk, and move is move. When I come in, bitch, I change the rule. Got things to do, I done pay my dues. But where was you, nigga? Where was you? I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Hey, you the one that say that. You and me go way back. When this whole thing over, I'ma send my invoice payday. You don't wanna say that. You don't want this payback. I keep my composure. This my kingdom, nigga. Stay back. We had a couple of moments. You had a choice, nigga, on it. Your real colors they showing. I'm real, nigga. I'm focused. When I come around, I'm fly with it. Stay moving, do buy with it. New sound, just vibe with it. Same truth and we die with it. I see it like it's an optical. I never sit on the fence. Nothing to me is impossible. Music of means to the end. Most of the shit is illogical. All of y'all niggas depend on what they pretend. Just think what you had. Stop looking at trends. You wearing your eyes like it's topical.
Clearly now, the pain is gone, the fame is on, and they play my songs. Yeah, it's real. Yeah, it's real.
Yeah, I ain't talk is talk, and move is move. When I come in, bitch, I change the rule. Got things to do, I done pay my dues. But where was you, nigga? Where was you? I said take a look around you, nigga. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. I said take a look around you, nigga. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. New era, I got y'all. Real game, we pop off, no knockoffs. Open eyes, we watch out. Mobilize, won't cop out. COVID-19 cops out, don't flop now. Open skies, we fly now. New agenda, they try now. Most y'all getting real scared of the headlines when you find out. End game getting real near. If you don't know, you behind now. Behind the times, government hide behind the lines. Most brands trying to monetize. All of us have to stay inside, don't socialize. Yeah, talk is talk, and move is move. When I come in, bitch, I change the rule. Got things to do, I done pay my dues. But where was you, nigga? Where was you? I said take a look around you, nigga. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. I said take a look around you, nigga. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe.
It's been a while since I dropped this shit. Swole fam, y'all better run this up. KD, let's go. Yeah.
Aye, East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, Global with that gang gang, you know we don't play games. Yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, Global with that gang gang, you know we don't play games. Yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, Global with that gang gang, you know we don't play games. Yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, Global with that gang gang, you know we don't play games. I'm blessed, I never said I didn't struggle. I finesse, I never said I didn't hustle. These niggas talk so loud, the way I move is subtle. I'm the ocean, but these niggas just a puddle. Ay, oh, I swear I'm delusional. These niggas, they using me. They want my energy, ain't nothing new, this is usual. These figures confusing me. What's gotten into me? They say I'm fusing their cubicles. Clipping KD like some cuticles. None of this shit is excusable. Don't need a muse when I'm musical. Ay, whoa, I'm tired of saying for truth when nobody's doing it. They're controlling the youth, agenda of fusing them, nigga. We losing them. Matter of fact, we just abusing them, that's a fact. We try to roll with a ballad act. Fucking low key with a Tesseract. They throwing smoke when they got to that. Get the fuck up out your little bubble. They wanna ask how much it costs, I said it double. Gorilla beer, these niggas only rockin' stubble. The realest nigga make these bitches start to stumble. Aye, East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, Global with that gang gang, you know we don't play games. Yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, Global with that gang gang, you know we don't play games. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, Global with that gang gang, you know we don't play games. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, Global with that gang gang, you know we don't play games. make this money, it comes out on tap. Trying to stay private, but I got them groupies. On me in private, but don't get all choosy. Bust out the bubble and in with the new me. FTLOG on the top with the blue jeans. Y'all got the diamonds and I got the rubies. I got the rubies, I got the rubies. She call me Captain, but I got no cap. I make this money, it comes out on tap. Trying to stay humble, but I get real moody. Try not to stumble, but she a real cutie. Bust out the bubble and in with the new me. FTLOG on the top with the blue jeans. Y'all got the diamonds and I got the rubies. I got the rubies, I got the rubies.
The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Your other hand, honey, I can't hold you!
I can reach it.
Help me! I can get it. I can almost reach it.
Go to the fucking gym.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
Go to the fucking gym.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
What's going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustles, and yo-hos? It's your boy, Papa Swoleo, back with another episode. In today's episode, the Beastcast is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everesting K2 flexing on all you beaches. Welcome to the show today. It's Monday, the 29th of September. We are 2 days left in the month, or 1 day left in the month, however you want to look at it. We are coming up on Fuck Your Resolution season, which starts on October 1st. FYR season is upon us, so get ready for that. A couple things before we get started. We got some specials going on over at papaswolio.com, so go and check out the specials, pick up some new merch. We've been talking a lot about all the new products, like we got Mane Gains and Scalp Seed. We'll talk about more of that later in the show. Smells delicious, works great, hair, beard, check it all out. Plus we got 20% off on all the other items we have today. I'm rocking the Fuck Your Candy Corn. The Fuck Your Candy Corn campaign is starting in October also. So you're here for that. Fuck your resolutions and your candy corn. So we have everything that you need, no matter what direction you want to take. You want to take all of it. Anyway, go check it out. We're going to get started today. We do have some new releases. We got some new stuff in the app. We got some new recipes. We got some scheduling for this week we'll talk about. And of course, last week we had an awesome drop for the Halloween season, Swole. What a great design. If you haven't picked it up, go and check out all the new drops over there at papaswolio.com. Swole is a go-to design. Let's kick it off today. We got some awesome stuff from the Swole fam community.
What's in the box?
From Tiago Fit Life, we got a little Ve al Puto Gimnasio. Very nice.
I gave it
like that shirt.
A 10.
VAPG.
A 10. A fucking 10.
Go to the fucking gym and Ve al Puto Gimnasio. All right, you know the deal. Fam, believe it or not, we got more. We got some Rate My Meal.
We choose
oh boy.
Truth over facts.
All right. It's around lunchtime for a lot of you. Let's see what people are eating. Let's see what we got. See what we got going on. Brent Reuter says ground beef, sweet potatoes, zucchini, and avocado. I approve. Golf clap all around. Christian Bub. That looks like... I don't know what the fuck that is.
What the fuck is that?
It says Whopper on the package. Is that something disgusting from Burger King? That definitely looks gross. That looks like a donut. Is that a pink bun? No, that's disgusting. That is gross. I don't know what the fuck that is. I don't know what that is. So Christian, you get a big fat 0. You get a goose egg. You don't get a goose egg. You don't deserve a goose egg. Because a goose egg is protein. You don't get the goose egg. You get nothing. You get nothing and a spank on your bottom. Danielle Slater, this morning's breakfast, the egg is quail. Fancy. I'm not sure if I've ever had quail eggs. Those are little tiny ones. Are they good? Elise Stone, pork back ribs and grilled zucchini. Look at all these zooks. What is with these zooks? I'll approve with the pork back ribs. Zucchini's not bad. But here's the thing. Look, we talked about the kebabs. We talked about the skewers. Those are zooks, people that put zucchini next to the steak because you're taking up steak room on my stick if you're doing a kebab. Now, the same situation goes for this. I have nothing against zucchini. But look, that's grill space. That's grill space where more pork back ribs could go. So you're taking up grill space, which is meat space. That's meat real estate. Okay? That's waterfront property. Waterfront property. Keep it in mind. It's all about how you frame it. You know? It's the grill's half empty or it's half full. I think the grill's half full of beef. You got some extra grill there. Damn zooks. Good job, Elise. Enjoy your meal. I'm sure you did. Gian Medina. Salmon, rice, and beans with Brussels sprouts. Well, there's a few things I don't like on this plate. I'm a fan of the salmon and the rice. Brussels sprouts can literally fuck all the way off. I wouldn't lose a wink of sleep. And personally not a fan of beans. You can make them taste good, but you got to cook them properly. You got to like pressure cook them, and I don't know. I've been fine without beans ever since I ditched those like high lectin foods. I feel great. It's all about feeling good. So a whole food meal I will agree with. And that's just my personal opinion and take on it. Those things don't work well with me. But there's plenty of people that are going to eat them. Mark Martinez. Steak, grilled chicken with rice, corn, and beans, and a tall glass of milk. Oh, that's diabolical. That is absolutely diabolical, Mark. That took an unexpected turn. Not for the better, actually. Steak, approved. Grilled chicken with rice, approved. Corn and beans, not my thing. Paper plates, nope. That's, the plastic wax on them. A couple things in this picture. A tall glass of milk included. That is insanity. That is insanity, dude. Steak, grilled chicken, rice, corn, and beans, and a tall glass of milk. Why milk, dude? That's a gnarly combo. And Mike Kessler is eating some kitty. All right, we get it. We get it. We get it.
Boom shakalaka!
We've heard that one before.
Because
We've gotten that joke before. We've gotten that before. Sonia, what is that? Shrimp? Man, people that follow me love some shrimp. Love shrimp. Every day we're getting some shrimp on there. Shrimp and rice? Okay. Nothing wrong with whatever I see on the plate here. Just not taking up space. This is meat space. You know, these are meats. This is meat space. Your stomach has limited space and you're taking up space where there could be meat. There could be meat. All right. Good stuff. That was much better. Aside from that Whopper, I think everything else was like more or less, you know, it was real food. So we've had worse. We've had worse stuff. All right. Let's get into some Swole fan posts. Get in some tip. Are you ready? Join the fam. Just an inch. Just an inch. It's cold outside. SwoleNormousX.com. We had some awesome new drops, new updates to the app. We had more drops today. We got some new recipes. We got some new classes, new featured stuff in the app. So go check it out. What is the number one thing you are focusing on improving this week? What exactly will you do? What's the number one thing? Drop in the chat. If you didn't answer this, you can still respond, but drop it in the chat, the live stream. What is one thing? The number one thing? Of course, you might be working a couple things, but what's the number one thing you're focusing on, and what are you going to do in order to be successful? What are you going to do to do it, to get it done? James says, continued focus on consistency by setting alarm to drop what I'm doing and complete the 90-day dash task. Also focus on mobility by incorporating daily yoga and SMR, and a bigger focus on mindfulness to calm the fuck storms, to calm the fuck storms in the head by separating myself from all the distractions, phone, pets, people, etc. All right, good stuff. Good stuff. I hear you.
How shall we fuck off, oh Lord?
Good stuff, James. I get you. Makes sense. Joe says consistency. I'm going to be consistently consistent this week. Well, that's like Melissa's saying. Consistently consistent. I will know that I will consistently be consistent because I will go back to consistently tracking my food workouts and steps just to make sure I'm not taking too many liberties. Okay, well, I will say something, Joe. You're not going to be able to be consistent by just being consistent. So you're setting yourself up for not being, you focus on the tasks. Don't think about, I do appreciate that being consistently consistent. So tracking your food. How is that going to, how are you going to track your food? Here's my point. You have your book and your log, like your log book or whatever it is right next to where you make your food and your scale, if you're weighing stuff, whatever, you put it there and then you will track it. Step, whatever it is, set the habits up. You say you'll be consistently consistent. Make sure you're focusing on the habits that lead you to tracking your food. Like do those things, set it up in advance, but go deeper. Go deeper. Again, we've talked about that book, Atomic Habits. I would recommend you read it, Joe. If you haven't read it recently, if you read it before, read it again, but focus on those habits because then you will be consistent. If you put more steps in front of what habits you're trying to achieve, if you have to go over here and pick something up and bring it all the way over there and then set up this and you're not going to do it. Do it the night before. Have it so you're going to get it done. It's right there. You can't avoid the habit that you want to execute, and then it just becomes something. All right, well, good stuff. Good stuff, Joe. By the way, I don't know if I shared this. Get Swole, hashtag Get Swole, drop in the comments. Fuck yeah! Drop that in the chat for a chance to win today's Swole card, hashtag Get Swole. We got one from Marissa. Same old elimination diet and water intake. All the rest is easy. Ha ha. Well, elimination diet is not easy. It's simple. It's not easy for a lot of people, but we wish you the best. Keep us posted. Mike says, I am focusing on nutrition. Oops. Why did that shift? Oh, we're not in the knowledge cock portion. There we go. Focusing on nutrition, specifically, I will be starting an elimination diet Monday morning. We'll be strict with meal prep every Sunday and Wednesday for the next month to start. Bully for you. Well done. Ryan says, I'm working on improving stress management and mental health care. Okay. Well, that is saying you're working on that. I asked how. I asked, what will you do? And the reason why I do that, I don't just say, hey, what are you working on, focusing on the most? Sure. I'm asking you what you will do, how you will accomplish it. That's why there's two parts to the question. So if you're not reading, pay attention. Pay attention to what you were asked. And the reason why that's important to pay attention is I'm asking that question for a reason. Because if you don't get specific, you're not going to get it done. Working on improving stress management. Okay, fine. How are you going to do that? What's your exact plan that you're going to implement every single day to improve your stress management? Mental health care, improving mental, that doesn't sound like you have any plan. I'm not saying you don't, Ryan, but maybe this exposes that you really don't. If you do, cool. Follow up in the text or share it or drop in the live chat if you're watching live or comment on Spotify. Give me something, man. Because if you're not telling me that, I assume that you have no fucking plan. And that's bad. You have no plan on what you're doing. How are you improving stress management? Maybe improving stress management is you're going to get up, sit on the edge of your bed, and you're going to take 10 deep breaths, 5 deep breaths. Maybe you do like a 6-second inhale, 4-second, whatever it is. Pick some sort of timed breathing. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the first thing that you do in the day. Instead of getting up in 5 minutes of meditation or going for a walk, the first thing you do is just you wake up and you take your breaths. You know, maybe you put a chair next to your bed because when you get up, you'll see the chair and be like, oh, I have to sit up first. I can't just like stand up. I'll walk into the chair. You know, something to remind you or to keep you in that something. I'm just saying you need to have a plan. So get that plan in order. Because if you're vague with me, it just seems like a general thing. Like, I'm going to eat healthier. That's not going to lead to you really eating it. You might do a couple things better, but you need something specific. Okay, Sydney says the number one thing that you're working on this week, just doing the thing, not talking about doing it, not thinking about doing it or plan, actually doing it. Long-term slow gains are better than short-term intensity. What does that mean? Just doing the thing. What does that mean? You see what I mean? You got to get specific. Doing the thing. I agree. No procrastination. Just say yourself, do it now. Just do it now. Just say yourself, do it now all the time. And then execute. Just do it then. I mean, long-term slow gains, that's the only way you're making gains is long-term. And they're slow. Better than short-term intensity. I don't like that because you need short-term intensity. You need a lot of intensity with certain things. I'm not saying be stressed out and your heart rate and you're freaking out. I'm not saying train to your absolute limit 7 days a week. But I would reframe that because that's long-term slow gains are better. That's the only way you're making gains is long-term and slowly. That's the only way you're making gains in any aspect of your life. Certain things might pop or accelerate quicker at certain periods than others, but it's always a long-term. If you're alive, it's a long-term play. You're doing whatever, again, everything that you're setting up for yourself and the way you're doing things, remember, this is what you're doing forever. Try to get your life to a point where you're doing what you want to do long-term. And then you just do that long-term. And then you can adjust and adapt and kind of tweak things along the way. I'm not saying you do the same exact thing. You can ameliorate and adjust and adapt and improve, right? But I think I know what you mean, right? Life is a marathon, Sydney, in terms of this. Sydney's saying is it's a marathon, not a sprint. But just make sure long-term slow gains, short-term intensity is going to get you long-term slow gains. But of course, intensity with training, intensity of focus, being more, clearing out your mind, mindfulness, and clearing out a lot of the clutter and not procrastinating with things, getting more specific and more tactical in your approach and optimizing, you'll get better at just doing it. Just do it now, And if you can't do it now, then stop thinking about it, meditate for a little bit and come back to it later. But it's like, oh, I should do this. Do it. Oh, I need to do this. Go do that. It doesn't mean you want to get scattered. You want to stay on track. And if you're at work, you're thinking about doing something at home. You can't handle that now. What can you do now? Do it now. Don't procrastinate. Get your shit done, kind of thing. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good topic. Thank you for sharing, Sydney and everyone else. Appreciate you. In the fam, rocking it. Let's get into some knowledge cock. Let's get into some questions. So drop your questions in the comments. We get a few from Instagram. Then we'll get into a few light release week. And we have new yoga class. We got some recipes and another announcement. So let's see what we got here. You could drop any live questions in the comments. Hashtag AskPapaSwolio. Follow, subscribe, share with your friends. Spotify, Rumble, Apple Podcast, everywhere. YouTube. All right, first question. Here we go.
What's in the box?
Monster-in-law Rob. Yeesh. Papa Swolio, how much cardio, if any, do you include in your program? Well, I'm doing a lot of activity. I'm walking around my property a lot, doing a lot of gardening and physical activity. I really like doing that kind of stuff. I mean, I do it either in the morning or the evening or both because I'm getting down, squatting down, hands and knees. It's a great way to kind of do yoga. I'll do stuff while I'm doing it, a deep squat when I'm planting stuff, up, down, twisting, bending, a lot of different motions, weeding stuff. So I enjoy it tremendously. So anyway, that's a lot of, outdoor time, nature time and sun and activity, walking the dogs, walking around, playing with them, doing some sled, some club work. It depends. Usually in the summer, in the peak of summer, I have to be much more mindful because I train a lot outside. And I've talked about this a lot. It's hot and it's humid. Now the humidity is dropping a little bit. We're getting a little bit more into fall. It's still hot as hell, but a little bit less humid. So my training tends to shift a little bit more in the winter. I'll do more sled work. I'll do more outdoor stuff. I'll do more things because it's not as hot and it's not as humid. And the reason is not that, hey, it's nice weather, why can't you go do stuff outside? It's just more taxing. So if I want to focus on lifting and training hard, whatever my priority is, I have to make sure I either monitor how much I'm doing, the volume, the time of day, different things like that, whether I'm doing it inside or outside. So, it can be really, it can be really gnarly. So in the summer, I'm not doing as much exhaustive cardio. I don't do as much stuff like the sauna just because it's so hot already. If it's 95 degrees and humid, I'm out all day and I'm training. Going in the sauna also is just not really necessary in my opinion. So I'll do a little bit less of like the exhaustive stuff because it's already fatiguing just with the heat. And then in the wintertime, I'll do more things like that. But I have a Versa climber and I might do some other things, but any kind of like jump rope or skipping. Love doing skipping. It's great for the tendons. It's great for coordination. It's great for cardio. It's great for the knees. Walking backwards, even like jogging backwards. If you don't have a sled, you can pull something light. We talked about how you can make it at home. You pull a sheet and put some weights or a sandbag on your sheet, pull your kids around or your grandkids. So there's a lot of different ways you can get that kind of stuff done. You could walk backwards up a flight of stairs. That's like also just like pulling a sled in many ways, depending on how tall your stairs are. So anyway, I do cardio. I get a lot of cardiovascular activity, but what I would encourage people to do is also, it's lowering stress too. So cardio is very beneficial, but also managing stress. There's a lot of benefits to that. So I train very intensely and it works a little more seasonal for me. So if anything, I'll do usually the most that I'll do in terms of if I'm doing like Versa climber, that's just very exhausting. A lot of times I pull back on some of that because it takes away from my training, but I'll do like once or twice a week if I'm doing intense cardio, because don't forget intense cardio, like sprint work, even 10, 15 minutes, it's intense. So even though it's cardio, it's not strength training, you're still using your muscles and it's your central nervous system, and that intensity is still fatiguing. So you could also do at the end of a workout. But yeah. So there's my answer, but I do a lot. I get a lot of lower intensity cardio, and also I'm sweating, it's just a lot. So I'm assuming you mean like if I'm running or doing longer duration cardio, but I get a lot of steps in, or I take Rufus for a walk. In the summer, we don't go on as many walks because it's so hot in the pavement and stuff, and it's muggy and nasty. Walking uphill backwards is fantastic. But cardio is good. Cardio is good. And the Versa Climber is great. But every time I kind of like implement it back in, that thing is so fucking taxing. So taxing. So again, when it comes to cardio, my priority is building muscle and lifting heavy weights. So I will add cardio and sprinkle it in, I guess, in short, to explain and kind of unpack everything I was saying. I just adjust the cardio, the intensity, the duration, what I'm doing to complement, but not take away from my strength training. So if cardio is your most important thing, and that doesn't mean that cardio won't become more front and center for me at some point. I shift through different phases with my training, but I'm not going to do any cardio to the point where it's taking away from my strength training. But for example, yesterday I took an extra recovery day. I was up, we had these big hedges, and I was like trimming all the hedges, and I was, in the hot sun with like a machete, and then I'm out. So I'm dragging leaves because we have bulk pickup on Mondays. So I was doing a lot of physical activity in the sun, a lot of raking, carrying big bags of leaves or, plant matter and sticks and shit. I was up on like a 10-foot ladder I was very physically active yesterday, even though I didn't lift. And the reason why I didn't lift is because one would have taken away from the other. So a little extra recovery, take an extra day, train today. I'll feel great today and I'll get it done, So I'm doing it to complement. And I think what people don't realize, they kind of just try to do everything. They try to do all out with cardio, all out with lifting, and then they don't actually make significant progress in either one. Then they're frustrated because they're skinny fat, or they're not building enough muscle, and hey, I don't like the progress I'm making here, that, and the other. Most people want muscle and they want to be leaner. Most people want muscle. You want a physique. If you're fat, you want more muscle. If you're skinny, you want more muscle. So focus on putting on muscle. And that's why I say focus on training. I could always go for more walks. I could always do more cardio. Like in the future, I'm not going to be able to put on as much more muscle. So I want to maximize whatever I can do now, prioritizing it, maybe not literally maxing it no matter what. I'm just doing whatever I can to put on every last ounce of muscle. I'm not focusing 100% on getting bigger only. I'm living my life and enjoying it. So I'm not getting on stage so I don't have to be super irrationally obsessed with it. I went through that phase, but I'm still making more progress and I'm just more tactical about it. So cardio to complement my strength training, not the other way around. I think it's an important distinction. So I'm not going to do anything. I won't do 20 minutes of cardio if 10 is good and I don't get exhausted. But if 20 takes away from my strength training, I won't do 20 kind of thing. And then if 10 minutes is good, then I'll decide, depending on how I feel, what kind of, cardiovascular stuff, or just go outside and walk around some more. Papa Swole, do you have any good diet tips for losing fat? Yep. Join swolenormousx.com and do the elimination diet and build muscle and kind of listen to what I just said for the last few minutes. But that's a question on Instagram, so you didn't hear me, but we just talked about that. Hey, Erroneous, how do you get back on that gym horse after falling off for months? You get the fuck back on by just doing it. Stop asking questions and cucking yourself. How do I get back on after falling off? Fucking start doing it again. And figure out why you fell off, because there's no excuse for it. So stop making excuses. How do I start again after I stopped for a while?
After I fell off.
Tired of this shit. I'm tired. I'm becoming a grumpy old man, man. And some of you are like, well, what else is new? No, I'm tired of this shit. Go to the fucking gym. How do I get back on? Literally my thing is telling people to go to the fucking gym, in case you haven't noticed. Go to the fucking gym. How do I get back on the gym horse? It's not a horse. It's you being a lazy fuck. After falling off for months, I don't know. You're going to get a leopard hair. You're going to get the nails of a goat. 3 raven's eggs. You're going to bring that to a simmer. It's like, go to the fucking gym. Are you going to create some sorcery bullshit? What can I do? The gym horse. Dude, get in your fucking car and drive to the nearest gym and walk inside. Don't be a faggot. AMJ, is farting while squatting okay? Well, Don't do it on purpose. If you have a home gym's for the win. Is farting while squatting okay? In a public gym, I don't know if you want to lose your membership or people to be like, dude, what the hell? If you can't help and it got out, just pretend like it didn't happen. Just keep on squatting. Usually when you're squatting, no one's really around. It's usually on like the end of the gym. Most places don't have squat racks in the middle of a gym. It's usually on a wall, but it's not always. Is it okay? I mean, it'll happen sometimes, I suppose. If you're just uncontrollable, then you got to work on your nutrition. Is it okay? If you can help it, don't do it. If you're at a home gym, I don't care. Just wipe the seat down or wipe the... I guess you're not squatting on a sit. You're doing box squats. Gabrielle Emesqua. Papa Soy, how long did it take you to get to where you are now? 42 years. I don't know want to answer these fucking retarded questions. I get it.
Full retard, man.
What does that mean? My entire life? I don't know. How long? Like time as a vector of time and space? You mean gravity-wise? Like in this time continuum? How long did it take me to get to where I am now? Every day that I've been alive. I think anytime someone asks you, how long did it take your entire life? No, seriously. I started Swolenormous in 2015, 16. So it's like, well, did I really start the business in did I really do it? I don't think so. I think it's just your entire life. It's almost like it took me 33 years to create the business. Because all the information and things I've acquired, that's what led to having things to say on a podcast. Whether you like the podcast or not, I'm able to do this every day for the most part. But anyway, yeah, that's how you answer the question. How long did it take? It took my life. It took my life. How long have I been lifting? But also, it's like, how long have you been lifting for? Well, I also wasn't morbidly obese when I started lifting, so I wasn't working in the opposite direction either. You know, there's a lot. There's a lot there. So I don't really know I don't really know how to answer this question. How long did it take? My entire life, dog. Ishak Jamil. Ishak. Or Isha Q. Hamil. What exercise can I do at home with just 2 dumbbells? Google it. What exercise can I do at home with just 2 dumbbells? Every single exercise possible that you can do with 2 dumbbells. Come on, man. D. Guaca, what do you think about a recovery week? My opinion on recovery, some people are going to insist, and we do have programs that have those kind of slingshot weeks or recovery or transition weeks in some of the programs. Some of them do, some of them don't. But the reason why we got those is because most people overtrain by default and they under recover. So it forces you to realize the benefits of recovery. And then I don't want to say more advanced, but things like Maximum Swole allow you to fully customize once you figure out how important recovery is. So we use that as an educational tool. But I think especially once you get to Maximum Swole, you don't need to be deloading or adding recovery weeks. You just adjust your intensity and volume and your recovery periods, and then you don't need a recovery week. So for me, I would much rather, if I'm training, I generally train 3 to 4 times a week intensely. Lately, it's actually been a little bit more towards 3. I still do upper lower. I could do full body sometimes in the winter. Like I've talked about this before, seasonally in the winter when it's cooler, I don't mind. Sometimes I do more full body in the winter just because in the summer it's just so exhausting. Even if I'm adding a couple more exercise, even if I'm doing 10 or 12 sets total, but setting up a couple different exercises, sometimes it can stretch the workout and I just start fading regardless of how much volume I'm doing, just doing different exercise. I just get fatigued quicker, obviously. So when it gets cooler out, sometimes I move more to full body or I do consecutive training days, depending. But I'll do 3 to 4 times a week intensely. And I would much rather go down to twice a week training, because with Maximum Swole, you can just adjust. So maybe I'm feeling more wiped out, then I might just switch to full body twice a week. It's not really the fact that I'm training. It's more about the workout itself. It's not really about whether it's full body or upper lower. It's still fatigue on the central nervous system. So if I do an upper body workout or a lower body workout or a full body workout, here's my perception. It doesn't really matter. Doing full body doesn't make me feel better because I'm doing less sets overall. The workout might be longer. If I'm doing an upper body day or a lower body day, I'm more or less equally, I'll be a little bit more fatigued after a lower body day, depending on what exercise I'm doing. But it doesn't really matter if I'm doing full or upper or lower. It's a training day, and it's an intense training day. So for me, doing 3 to 4 times a week at the most, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, or Monday, Thursday, Sunday, or Monday, Wednesday, sometimes Saturday, I'll take an extra day in between. So I wouldn't do a recovery week anymore. I would just add an extra recovery day and either decrease the intensity slightly or decrease the volume a little bit. And then you don't need to recover. In other words, your program should dynamically adjust. And if you're burning out, here's my take on it. And this is just in more often than not. I'm not saying you can't have a good program or there can't be certain justifications, but essentially you're overdoing it just to pull back. And if you're not providing a stimulus, you're not growing. And if you need a recovery week, you're probably fatiguing yourself to the point that is unnecessary, that is leading to you having to take off and not provide stimulus. And then you come back stronger after a week. No shit, you're not recovering properly in your program. Your program sucks. That's my opinion. And that's just my experience. If you're burning yourself out, that means you're not getting the stimulus, not recovering. Taking a week off, it's just a result of bad programming. More often than not, like I said, there could be strategies, and we do certain things like that in programs. So you are forced to like, hey, well, I'm following the program. Cool. Take time off. Oh, wow. I feel so much better. Exactly. You're overdoing it a little bit. Once you get into Maximum Swole, for example, then you'll see, oh, here's how I schedule. Here's what it feels like. And here's what it looks like when I'm recovering completely and I can train intensely at 100% and provide that full out stimulus and get all the motor unit recruitment and stuff like that. Because if you are not training at your max, you're not getting the maximum recruitment, which is what you need if you want to optimize building muscle. And there's a lot of things that work. Once a week works for body parts, twice a week, 3 times a week. It's really your preference. But bottom line, you want the consistent stimulus. And the more consistent you can provide that and be making progress, well, you're going to get more consistent growth. And you need more recovery for the intense training than people realize. Especially, don't forget, there's other things that stress your body out. So if you have a stressful life, mentally you're stressed out, your job stresses you out, you got to really adjust your programming because you're already kind of stretched thin. Cortisol levels are higher. You're already stressed out. So it's a different type of stress, but mental stress will manifest itself physically. So if you're stressed out at work a lot, your workouts, your training might suffer. So you need to adjust your training, manage your stress at work, do better with meditation and lowering stress, but then adjusting your workouts so you're not wearing yourself down more. That could also be a sign that you're not making progress. Not, even more than sleep in many cases. Because sometimes you don't get a good night's sleep and you'll hit a PR and stuff like that, But mental stress will wear you down. And then it'll affect your sleep. It's cumulative. In other words, your programming, you should be recovering from it normally so you don't have to take a recovery week. Oh, that's the last question. All right, good stuff. Any follow-ups you can drop in the comments. Mm-hmm. All right, let's move on.
That's deep.
I'm your huckleberry. That's just my game.
Okay, let's get into a video first, and let's see what we got here. And then we'll do a couple releases. This is called, oh God. Let's do this one. I applied to be an ICE agent. I applied to be an ICE agent.
What's in the box?
Oh, well, let's see what we got here. Mm-hmm.
Guys,
Yeah.
I just applied to be an ICE agent.
Hi.
And my plan is that any information I get on ICE raids, I'm going to report back to the Mexican community and, you know, just try to help you guys out. Also, every time a Mexican gets deported, I'm sneaking 2 Mexicans back into the United States. I'm just here to help. That's my plan. I will update you guys along the way. Thank you.
You are hiding Mexicans under your floorboards, are you not? You're hiding enemies of the state, are you not? Paging Hans Landa. Paging Hans Landa. Come in, Hans Landa. Yeah. You know what's funny? Is the fact that they literally post these things online. It seems like it could be a troll or satire. If it's not, you are definitely double-digit IQ. You kind of don't want to post these publicly. Not going to be good in a court of law. Not going to be good in a court of law. Okay. Well. Isn't that special? All right, let's get into a couple releases. Let's do the featured classes. We're going to do recipe first, then we'll do the featured classes, and then we'll get into yoga and then our other release. All right, let's see. Brand new.
What's in the box?
Inside the Swolenormous app, we got a new recipe this week. Garlic herb butter prime rib. Absolutely.
I am the danger.
Absolutely. 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 Without question. Garlic herb butter prime rib. 1,000%. Get in my belly. Don't ask any questions. Just get the fuck in there. All right. We got featured classes now available. Ladder Flow Express with Genevieve.
We choose truth over facts.
Ladder Flow Express class. Excellent. If you've never tried the ladder flows, try this one. Express, so it's short, probably about 30 minutes. Go give it a try. Featured Swole 7 this week. Mobility round 13 with your boy Papa Swole. And the featured workout is Maximum Swole Quads number 2. So there you have it. Excellent. And of course, we have all the Swollen 7s. You get access to everything over in the Swolenormous app. Join the fam today and check out all of our programs. Hashtag Get Swole in the comments for a chance to win 2 days Swole card. Imarasta says, I love the express classes since I have such a hard time doing proper recovery. Yeah, it's quick. It's simple. Some of them are like 25 minutes. Swolga is short too. Usually keep them short so it's easy. So Swolgas are usually what, like 15 to 25 minutes? 20 express or like 30 to 40 minutes, 30 to 40. Oh, and by the way, let's talk about that for a second. Now that I'll give you a Swollen 7. Ha, that's a good one. Because penis. Yeah.
Because.
What was I going to say? Oh, for yoga. So let's, this is last week's release. Swole for Odd 2. So remember when you go to search and you search for a yoga class, you can search for the length. That's what she said. So you can adjust. Just a reminder, you can do 25 to like 35 minutes and see what pops up. So let's do yoga and then apply. And then we have all the yoga classes that are within 25 to 28 minutes, 28, 33, 34. So it's perfect. So if you have a time constraint, make sure that you check out the search features. So you can search by that. Let's see, I think Swolga. So if we get rid of yoga, Swolga, 15 to 25 minutes. Did I use Swolga? Oh, yoga and Swolga. Is there any Swolga? Oh, I got to clear. 20. Let's see. No short Swolga classes. So clear. Ah, the Swolga classes aren't pulling up. All right, well, I'll adjust that. Anyway, sometimes you find a little thing to fix. Let's see. Maybe I had a setting that was off. Anyway, you can go and check in, search for time. So it's fantastic. Impressive length. Get your Swole in 7. Get all 7 inches. Let's do this, actually. Let's do a brand new yoga class.
What's in the box?
So brand new yoga class, Recovery Flow for Legs number 2 Express with Alex. Again, that's mostly what we release. We don't do a lot of, we don't do as many like full length classes because we have so many already. And just Express is something that's just so much more in terms of getting that in, you know, it's much better going and doing an Express class that's like 25, 30, 35 minutes than maybe not being able to. It's just harder to schedule psychologically and in your day. I get it, to do an hour-long class. If you can, great. But don't think, oh, it's an Express class. It's fast. Don't think that it's fast. You know, Express doesn't mean that it's done quickly. It just means that it's short. So you're doing a nice paced class and you get it in. If you can do a 30-minute class 3 times a week, it's much better than doing a 60-minute class maybe once a week because, okay, you had an hour. But fitting in like 25 minutes or 30 minutes is much easier. And remember, you could always do half of it. And if something gets interrupted, just finish it later or do the whole thing again later. It's never wasted. Even if you get 10 minutes and then you have an emergency you have to take care of. Okay, come back and do it later. It's never wasted. You're just chipping away and making intentful time to work on your mobility or train. You know, you're just doing the best you can every day. But when I say doing the best you can, don't use that as an excuse. Get it done and set yourself up more for success. It doesn't mean that you're not going to have days where things interrupt and just kind of throw you off, but you want to set up your life and set up your scheduling and prioritize so you have to deal with that kind of an issue less frequently. Okay, we got one more. No merch this week because, and before you settle down, we did have a release, but I was not satisfied. So last night, you know, it's fine. But last night, I want to see a different version. So I want a couple adjustments. So it's worth it. It was good, but I think it can be better. And likely will be ready for next week. So I stopped it. It's not ready. Not satisfied. I don't put out anything I'm not satisfied with. This is called Kids at Drag Shows. Oh boy.
What's in the box?
Let's see what we got.
Us and my body, your body, their bodies are home for the living God. Yes?
Oh, God.
Full of grace, full of truth. That is why I take my 11-year-old boy to drag shows in the summer with my friend and fellow church leader.
Whoa. I'm
gonna put my nutsack
Hold on.
drum set.
Hold on.
60% of the time, it works.
That got it
every
fast.
time.
That doesn't make sense.
Oh, Jesus. The text on the screen says she wants her 11-year-old son to know it's okay to have his body played with. I do not want this to continue. Is she in a church? Is that a church? There's a rainbow trans. There's the cult flag behind her that says hate has no home here. Oh, yeah. Hate has no home here unless you disagree, and then we'll put you on a pike. And we'll call you a bigot and a Nazi. Yeah. Anytime you see those coexist stickers and these, like, you know, radical ideological flags like hate has no home here, those are the most hateful people that you'll ever meet. They love to blame you for, you know, putting that kind of like victim shield. Oh, we're so compassionate. It gives them the moral authority to be the biggest fucking cunts on the planet. Okay, let's continue. Let's do that again. This is horrifying.
I take my 11-year-old boy to drag shows in the summer. That is why I take my 11-year-old boy to drag shows in the...
I'm pausing it again. There's 39 seconds left. All right. That's not a good open. That's why I take my 11-year-old boy to drag shows. Whip. I'm just going to clarify that this person is speaking this into a microphone. Can you imagine getting in front of a microphone that's going to boom your voice out to many people, record this, and post it online? That's why I take my 11-year-old son to drag shows. You are telling the world that. We're going to post this on social media. Does that sound like a stable-minded individual to say that out loud? I'm just saying, not only am I going to think it and do it, I'm going to say it into a microphone for the internet. Wild. This is a good idea. Upload. All right. We're going to muscle through this one. Let's do it.
Of truth.
I'll try not to stop it again.
That is why I take my 11-year-old boy to drag shows in the summer with my friend and fellow church leader Kate and her 11-year-old boy. I want him to know that there is no wrong way to have a body, especially if you're a man. That bodies can be celebrated and played with.
No. Oh, this is disgusting. Check her hard drive. Oh, man. Holy shit.
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown. I amuse you.
Wow. Wow, that's bad.
No wrong way to have a body,
Oh
especially
my-
if you're a man.
Oh
That
my
bodies
God.
can be celebrated and played with.
Oh.
I want him to know that all bodies can shapeshift and be a...
What the How is this fucking halfway through? I gotta get some soundboards from this.
I'm Hubert Cumberdale.
Oh my God. All right.
I've contained my rage for as long as possible, but I shall unleash my fury upon you like the crashing of 1,000 waves! Begone, vile man! Begone from me!
All right. Let's do it again. I had to stop it. Yeah, we have to. This is how it's done on the Daily Swole. We're going to stop and break it down and laugh and point fingers. Oh my God. I can't play this through. There's too much. That was epic. Shape-shifting? I know. Amanda's saying, I'm so mad and disgusted I can't even laugh. I know. I can't help it. It's hitting me in that way. This is just so gross. I'm just beyond it. I'm beyond it at this point. This is insane.
Be celebrated and played with. I want him to know that all bodies can shapeshift and be adorned with makeup and glitter. All bodies.
Makeup and glitter. What in the hell?
I want him to know that makeup and glitter, all bodies. I want him to know that there is no wrong way to live in his body as long as his body is not hurting other bodies. Amen? I especially want him to know this if he turns out to be a heterosexual, able-bodied, and cisgendered man. I want to raise a boy who knows that he doesn't get to tell other people how to live.
Shut up, bitch!
Jesus Christ.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Jesus Christ. That is so fucking sinister, man. We're so cooked. Our society is so absolutely, completely fucked. This is see what happens when you're that accepting as a society. You're too accepting. You get too accepting. Oh, be nice. We're a melting pot. No, we shouldn't be. Because what happens in that melting pot is you have the good stuff that tastes really good in the middle of the melting pot. And then you have like the burnt shit fucking crust that sticks to the whole damn side. And that's what she is. She's fucking melting pot crust. This is what happens when you have a melting pot too long. You get a lot of crud and rust and scum. This is insane stuff here, man. That's insanity. That's insane.
I don't work with the males because I used to be one.
All right. Well, we're gonna get a little jiggy with it here. All right, we got a throwback. Before we do have one more release, one more announcement, actually, fam. A little bit different this week.
What's in the box?
Yo, this week, Rise and Swole is on Friday. Wow. Roundtable 92. Roundtable 92.
Hi,
like
Puppy.
This Friday at 11 a.m. Rise and Swole Roundtable. Rise and Swole, 11 a.m. Yeah, it's, it's a little bit, it's almost like noon. It's a high noon Swole almost. So this week, this Friday, Freya's Day, October 3rd at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, we'll post that inside the app so you can schedule it. We'll talk to you Friday at 11 for members only. Nice roundtable discussion. We talk about whatever. Shoot the shit with the fam. We'll enter the weekend and we'll enter October with a little RT on Friday. So in place of the normal stream, join us over at SwolenormousX.com. Fam Friday. Ooh, I like that. Fam Fridays. It's always fam day every day. All right, let's do a throwback. We got a throwback. Let's see what we got here. And then we'll give away today's Swole card. Hashtag Get Swole in the comments. What is this? I'm curious as to what this one is. Very curious. Angry and cranky that they are no longer living in ignorant bliss. This is what happened when their brains broke after Trump was elected. It's just reality, and you need to step up and not be a drone anymore. Sorry. So this is just a hypothesis, just something to say. It makes sense. But are there really more crazy people in the world?
Oh, yeah.
I think there's an increase in how insane people are because of technology and because of the propaganda and the lies. But I also grew up in New York City in the 80s, and I remember people yelling and swearing and living on the street and mumbling and, yelling at themselves walking down the street. People have been fucking nuts for years and years and years, as most people weren't around it. Like the person talking to themselves walking down the street, that's one thing in 1987. But now that person has TikTok, right? Now that person has Instagram. Now that person has a cell phone. And then of course that snowballs and it leads to more people talking back and pushing back and this kind of stuff. Yeah, there's always been crazy people. Back in the Roman days, there's always crazy fucking people. But now there's more. And they all have social media. They all have, they're all on X, they're all on Instagram, and there's bots and large language models that base the totality of human knowledge from a lot of this crazy shit online. This is why if you use AI, if you guys use AI and, we use it all the time, make sure that you cross-check. It's not always correct. In fact, a lot of times it's off. So just make sure. Remember, they all got cell phones. Crazy people are all online. Just a funny way to think of it, but it's also true. They all have a fucking phone. They can all post online. So post more logical-based shit. Post more based shit because we got to drown out the noise from the insane people. And that's what we do here on the podcast, right? Aww. That's what we do here on the podcast. We help everyone get swole and logic and common sense, right? All right, let's give away today's Swole card. Are you ready? Yeah. Get Swole. Hashtag Get Swole for a chance to win the Swole card. Who is it gonna be? Winner. Chicken Dinner showing up and storming the chat. Imarasta. Congratulations on winning today's Swoleo card. Swoleolus. It's an Aurora Swoleolus. Congratulations. Send us an email to support@swarmus.com. Swole card 3434. Ooh, it's a good number. 3434 in the subject. Your mailing address in the body of the email. Congratulations. All right, fam. That's what we got for you today. Make sure you have a great one. Go to the fucking gym. Hit the like button, subscribe, share with your friends. If you have not yet left a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please take a minute to do so. Join the fam, swolenormousx.com. And of course, check out all the Halloween merch drops. We got 20% off the entire site over there at papaswolio.com. You don't want to miss out on that. And we'll see you tomorrow. Peace, McGee's, deuce, Magoose, your boy, Papa Swolio. Out.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like
then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, yeah. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. On topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits. I'm in my